American Army Officer, Real Brave Story, 2001. It was a chilly autumn morning in 2001 when Sergeant James Hawk Wilson received the news that would change his life forever. The 9/11 attacks had shaken the nation, and the U.S. Army was mobilizing troops for Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Hawk, a seasoned soldier with multiple tours in Iraq and Bosnia, was no stranger to combat. He had enlisted in the Army right out of high school, driven by a sense of duty and patriotism. Now, as he prepared to deploy to Afghanistan, he felt a mix of emotions: excitement, fear, and a deep sense of responsibility. As Hawk and his unit, the 101st Airborne Division, arrived in Kandahar, they were met with harsh conditions. The rugged terrain, scorching heat, and freezing nights made every day a struggle. But Hawk and his comrades were determined to complete their mission, to root out Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months. Hawk's unit conducted countless patrols, raids, and reconnaissance missions. They faced fierce resistance from enemy fighters, who seemed to blend seamlessly into the local population. One fateful night, Hawk's unit was ambushed in a narrow valley. The enemy had set up a kill zone, with RPGs and machine guns firing from multiple directions. Hawk's training kicked in, and he quickly assessed the situation. He directed his team to return fire, while he provided cover with his M4 carbine. In the chaos of the firefight, Hawk saw one of his soldiers, Private First Class Jenkins, go down. Without hesitation, Hawk rushed to his side, exposing himself to enemy fire. He dragged Jenkins to safety, applying a tourniquet to his wounded leg. The battle raged on for hours, but Hawk's unit managed to hold their ground. When the dust settled, they had secured the valley, but at a great cost. Jenkins had lost his leg, and several other soldiers were wounded. As Hawk reflected on the battle, he realized that the true struggle wasn't just against the enemy, but also against the harsh environment and the emotional toll of war. He thought about his family back home, his wife, Sarah, and their two kids, Emily and Jack. He wondered if he would ever see them again. The months dragged on, with Hawk's unit facing numerous challenges. They conducted operations in the snow-capped mountains, the scorching deserts, and the crowded cities. They worked tirelessly to build relationships with local leaders, to gather intelligence, and to disrupt enemy networks. Hawk's unit also faced the challenge of navigating the complex cultural landscape of Afghanistan. They had to be mindful of local customs, traditions, and sensitivities, all while trying to achieve their mission objectives. Despite the challenges, Hawk's unit remained focused and determined. They knew that their mission was critical to the success of Operation Enduring Freedom, and they were willing to make sacrifices to achieve their goals. As the deployment wore on, Hawk began to feel the strain of combat. He had seen friends injured, comrades killed, and innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. He struggled to sleep, haunted by the memories of what he had seen and experienced. But Hawk refused to give up. He drew strength from his fellow soldiers, his family back home, and his own sense of purpose. He knew that he was fighting for something bigger than himself, something that would make a difference in the world. Finally, after a year of deployment, Hawk's unit received orders to return home. As they boarded the plane, Hawk felt a mix of emotions: relief, exhaustion, and a deep sense of pride. He knew that he and his comrades had made a difference, that they had fought for something bigger than themselves. As the plane took off, Hawk gazed out to the window, watching the rugged landscape of Afghanistan disappear into the distance. He thought about the struggles they had faced, the sacrifices they had made, and the bonds they had formed. He knew that he would carry the memories of this deployment with him for the rest of his life. Hawk's story is just one of many, a testament to the bravery, resilience, and sacrifice of the U.S. Army soldiers who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. Their struggles, though unique to each individual, are a reminder of the enduring spirit of the American soldier. Epilogue. Hawk returned home to a hero's welcome, but he knew that the real heroes were the soldiers who had fought alongside him. He struggled to adjust to civilian life, haunted by the memories of what he had seen and experienced. But Hawk refused to give up. He sought help from the VA, and he began to rebuild his life. He started a family, pursued a new career, and found solace in his faith. Years later, Hawk returned to Afghanistan as a civilian contractor, determined to make a difference in the country he had fought for. He worked tirelessly to